What's up, y'all? It's your boy Bonte, but at the Hedgehog after that. And I am very excited to make this video because it feels like I'm still in my honeymoon phase when it comes to this game, but like, I don't know, it's just something about it that just hits me right, it just rubs me the right way, pause. So what I want to talk about today is very important for the Sonic franchise going forward. And Frontiers really has set that bar, that expectation. For this, we cannot backtrack, we cannot regress. This can only go forward for the series. And that is the implementation of Supersonic. You see, the last decade of Sonic not being the greatest, they really trashed Supersonic in these years. Like, they just left Supersonic in the dust for absolutely no reason. The last time we saw Supersonic before Frontiers was Generations. That was 2011. And even then, Supersonic in Generations was mid as fuck. And take it a step further, we haven't seen Supersonic portrayed in a good way since Unleash, and that was 2008. So for Frontiers to introduce Supersonic through the trailers, and to start off to a Giganto boss fight like this. Straight chills from the first time I watched it to the times I replayed it. The way Sonic is just slowly descending towards Giganto's face and just calmly but silently looking at him with a slight smirk, with the intro of Undefeatable playing in the background. Come on, we have not seen Supersonic like that in a very long time. So off the bat, they were already able to capture the power in the presence of Supersonic itself. And then we get to the gameplay. Although the gameplay is not super intricate, my goodness, the pure spectacle and hype of it just makes it feel like it is. And the fact that you're actually punching and kicking as Supersonic and using the same moveset as regular Sonic in these fights. Instead of you just charging at the enemy and headbutting them, you have the moves you can combo. The Phantom Rush, it has like these like after images of like huge fists and feet where you're like comboing him. Like, it's so satisfying. And the fact that you can use the Psyloop as Supersonic and throw him in the air. We have never been able to do any of this as Supersonic throughout any game in the course of this franchise history. And the fact that he controls so well is just chef's kiss. And the music, man, I never thought that we will see any type of metal music in a Sonic game and have it actually work, but somehow they were able to pull it off. The music just adds so much, it really makes you feel the power of Supersonic, from the contrast to the more calm and subtle music in the open world, open zone, to the more, fierce rock metal heavy music with the Supersonic fights. I mean, everything together is just absolutely amazing. And they even said, fuck it, we'll just throw in a beam struggle too. Like, come on, how cool is that? Like, from these Titan fights, you can really feel the Shonen roots in Sonic. And then we get to the big finisher. You just see this man Giganto fall to his knees, and then Supersonic pulls out this fucking Super Saiyan 3 Goku, fucking goes through his body, bro. Like, what, man? Like, actually insane, man. Great way to top off this fight and the start of these Titan fights in Frontiers. Wyvern is probably my favorite Titan boss fight in Frontiers because of the aesthetic of just flying around in the island you were just exploring while fighting this Titan. Like, it just gets to me. Like, this is the closest we get to flying around as Supersonic in the game. So like, I'll take that. And you're basically chasing Wyvern around, right? And then you can either just chase him until you catch up to him, or you can parry one of his missiles to catch up really quick. Wyvern also, in my opinion, has like the coolest attacks, like the way he's just like wiggling around in the air, doing a whole bunch of, swerves and twirls and shit like that. And the special parry animation that you get, by far the most surprising and the best one to me. Like, we see Sonic grab this thing by the tail, swung it around, and threw him at the mountain, bro. That shit was actually insane. It just had me so hyped, man. And then the special side loop animation. Like, you put this motherfucker in chains, bro. You put him in prison. You just pounding on him while he's just locked in chains. Like, that's actually so cool. And this is what I want to see more of. Sonic just doing badass things, whether he's doing it himself or it's from, one of his abilities, whatever. And the music in this is just as good as Undefeatable, man. Especially the second half, A Break Through It All, like, it really gets the blood pumping, man. And then for the quick time event, like, Wyvern sends out a bust of missiles, and then Sonic, he like collects them all together into a ball and kicks it at him. Like, oh my god. I knocked my glasses off, bro. That's how excited I am talking about this. And this man Sonic, like having the missiles trail him, and then he opens the mouth for Wyvern and just have the missiles go inside him and they blow up. Like, man, it's just so cool, man. Definitely one of my favorite boss fights simply because of the aesthetic of it. Like, absolutely insane, amazing. And at this point, they're really selling you the idea of Super Sonic and how they're portraying him. And let me tell you, man, they did a goddamn good job of doing that. And also, let me put this in here because the day and night cycle actually happens while you're fighting the boss, or at least in the Wyvern boss fight. And fighting at night looks so clean, man. Like, the supersonic glow just pops out even more. Like, it goes so hard. And I feel like it's the best for Wyvern because you're in the more open area as you're flying around. So I just wanted to put that in there because that's just a really nice touch and another great Titan fight. So then we get to Night. Night definitely has my favorite design of all the Titans. I mean, just having a big ass sword and a shield with spikes on it, I mean, that's already good enough as is. So let's start off with the track, Find Your Flame. Again, this track is also peak, just like the other two, but I do think the other two has a slight edge over it. That's not a knock to Find Your Flame though, it's still absolutely amazing. And it's also really cool that Knight actually attacks with his sword and his shield. They're not just aesthetics for the fight. So basically, Knight fucking throws his shield at you, you parry it, and then you just get on top of it and ride it like a fucking spaceship. And then you just use it against him, like, and it's, man, I'm telling you, man, these fights. And he also sends missiles at you while, you're riding the shield. They're pretty easy to dodge, but it's a nice touch. But the Night fight has the best special side loop animation. Literally, Sonic, this motherfucker uses fucking chaos spears to spear him in the sky while he's hitting him. Like, when have we ever seen Sonic use chaos spears, bro? What? And then if you side loop it to finish it off, Sonic sends one more chaos spear through his chest and sends it into the ground. Like, come on, bro. You can't tell me that's not peak, man. And the special parry animation is also really good. Supersonic rolls up into a ball, which I don't even know we've ever seen before outside of the classic games of being able to spin dash with Supersonic. And then like he's just fucking like just toying with him, like hitting him on his legs, and he trips him up, and then he fucking hits him up in the air with like a fucking uppercut, and then spikes him down with his leg. Like, listen, like what more can I say about it, man? That's why I said these Titan fights do a really good job of showing the power of Supersonic. Especially people who are new to this franchise, that came from, the movies or, Sonic Prime, right? These kids, they're gonna play as fucking Supersonic and they're gonna be like, yo, this is cool as fuck. It's the same as me when I was a kid and I saw Sonic turn to Supersonic in Sonic 2 or Sonic Rush or Sonic Unleashed, and it was like the coolest and best thing ever. Phase 2, there's not really much to add on this part. His shield is just bouncing around the arena, You have to parry it and throw it back at him. Still a cool segment, but not much to comment on there. But it's about how this boss fight ends, like, holy shit. So first, Knight fucking charges up his sword or whatever he does, and it throws it at Sonic. Sonic fucking catches it with ease. And then Knight does a little, 720, and it fucking throws Sonic to the side of the crater. And Sonic's, trying to hold his sword up, and then he kicks it back at him. And then, oh my goodness, this man Sonic, he's pissed, goes and does an uppercut on fucking Knight, and his sword just goes flying. And they put the camera on the sword, and then you just see Sonic just slowly side looping it. And then your thought process is like, he's not picking up the sword. There's no way he's picking up the sword. And then you see it slowly move up, and you're like, oh my god, he's fucking picking up the sword. Picks up the sword and fucking slices Knight in half on some anime, Final Fantasy, whatever the fuck you want to use type shit, bro. Dog, come on. It's too much stimulation for my brain. I'm sorry. But definitely the best ending out of all the Titan fights. And again, man, just Sonic Team just showing that what they can do. And again, another great Titan boss fight for this game. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Unfortunately, I won't be talking about Supreme in this video because it's just Giganto with extra steps. And the final boss, the end, we don't talk about the end. At least until those two bosses gets updated, which is a possibility if you saw Kishimoto's reply to a certain tweet, which you guys might already know what tweet that is. But I digress. Now, this video might come off as more me just fanboying over the shit in this game, but that's kinda the point I'm trying to get across. I should be fanboying over this type of shit because these type of things are what separated Sonic from the rest, is what made him badass with that edge. And hell, it's not just me. If you just look at the reaction from people within the Sonic community and outside of the Sonic community especially. I've seen so many people genuinely surprised that a song like Undefeatable was in a Sonic game. That's the type of shit we need. And hell, Super Sonic was so badass in this game, Sonic got his respect back and he became a status meme. Some of you guys might overlook that, but that is a big deal because even the littlest of things that happen within and outside the community, it just really shows that Super Sonic is rightfully back where he belongs. Super Sonic has been fully reimagined in Frontiers, and I'm hoping that in future games, they take it a step further and really show us what Sonic is all about, why he should be a well-respected IP, and why he's so badass. That's why this video exists. That's why I wanted to make this video. And I hope that you all understand why I did it. But anyway, that's all for me. That's all my thoughts wrapped up. If you agree with anything I said, or if you just like this video in general, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. The shit YouTubers tell you to do. And with that being said, stay light, brothers, and Bante out.